Tell me when you're ready. Hi, it's Mike Anderson from Gear Diary, back to take a look at the Google Nexus 7 Android tablet running the Jelly Bean 4.11 operating system. Now this product was largely introduced for, well, really to kind of save Google tablets, the Android tablets. There's been a string of decently reviewed, fairly well-performing things that sold about a couple 100,000, perhaps 1 million, but really not enough to light the world on fire. Then all of a sudden last year, at the end of the year, about 7 or 8 months ago, out comes Amazon with the Kindle Fire. And it runs, it's based off of, pardon me, but it runs a modified version of the Android gingerbread operating system with a heavy overlay from Amazon itself. So over the course of the end of last year, really the fourth quarter, this Kindle Fire sold about 4 million to single-handedly become the best-selling, and in fact, some would have it be better selling than all other Android tablets combined. So in order to take back the control over their own tablets, Google had contracted with Asus in order to come up with a new tablet. And it's just come out this week. So as you take a look, you'll see that in terms of size, shape, these two are very similar. The Nexus has a tapered back rather than the square back of the Kindle Fire. The Kindle Fire up top has 2 stereo speakers, whereas there's a single mono port. Neither one has particularly great sound in terms of what you're going to hear out of the speaker itself. And really, does the stereo versus mono make a difference? That I'm not so sure either. Taking another tour of the hardware and just unlocked. Now this is running Jelly Bean. You drag the circle out. Other things going on. You've got a nice kind of polycarbonate back on there. It's got a really rough feel that has a good grip ability to it. In terms of actual buttons, power screen on button, as well as volume up down, USB port, 3.5mm jack, and the camera. So the front facing camera is here. There is no rear facing camera. This is a low resolution. There's no picture taking app. It is merely set up as a webcam. This is meant to be similar to Kindle Fire, that you could stick into a case and just lock away like a book. That's a similar thing here. In terms of the operating system, you have a taskbar on the bottom, as well as the 3 home, back, and application buttons that are available. And when you go to rotate the screen from portrait to landscape, you'll see that the launcher screens, the home screen, do not rotate. When you go into an application itself, so if I go into, say, Gmail, that application will rotate, but the home screen, none of the home screens rotate. And that's just simply not an option. Obviously, you can root the device if you so desire, but for me, that's not something that I'm really big on. The widgets have expanded. The initial focus is really on the Google Play content. I've added some things for Amazon MP3. I have a lot more content there, as well as a number of apps: Nook, Kindle, Zinio, Hulu Plus, Evernote, number of games. One of the games ended up over there, Facebook, and so on and so forth. Now this initially started with all Google Play apps, but I think I've been very vocal about the fact that I really don't have much use for their systems. So, but I do have to hand it to Google that they allow you to swap out everything. So rather than having Google Books, which I have 3, I could have Facebook. I could have put the Kindle app there. whatever it is. So it's very flexible in that regard. In terms of speed, in general, it's actually a very responsive system. It has a quad-core Tegra processor and also a high-performance GPU multi-core. Separately, I did a video of gaming performance, and that was certainly worth looking at. This thing, as a gaming system, certainly performs well enough to replace DS, PSP, something of that nature, and add on the entire Android ecosystem, and then you really have something that's a real solid performer. Now, in terms of the Android ecosystem, when you get to the apps that most people will use, everything works. But naturally, because it's a tablet, it has a 1280 by 800 screen, which is a beautiful resolution, nice screen. However, that's different than all of the other 7-inch tablets that have been released, and also different than most of the 10-inch tablets that have been released. A couple of the games that I tried didn't use the whole resolution, they only used a part of the screen, and other apps just wouldn't work at all. So that's certainly something to be aware of. However, the majority of games I did look at, I was pleased to see they would at least work for the tablet. Other things that I encountered right away when I got this was about 20% battery, and I brought it out to my car, used the exact same charger that I use to charge every Android phone that I have, from Motorola to Samsung, HTC and so on, and also not just Android phones, but also Windows Phone and so on. So it's a standard USB thing. It would not charge this. And it's also the same exact car charger that I use to charge my iPad. So that's kind of funky on that one. I really don't know what's up with that. It does come with a wall charger, kind of a wall wart, as well as a USB connection for that. So it does come with the means to charge the system. In terms of anything else, you do get, with the system, does come with a credit for the Google Store, the Google Play Store, which is certainly always a good thing. And I think their goal, obviously, is to have you further invested into their ecosystem. Now, something that's here you bring up is the running applications list, more recent applications list. It makes it very easy for you to swap in to whatever app you want to go. So I've gone to the Google Play Store, I've gone to Gmail, Modern Combat 3, so all these different things that have been running. If I want to go back to the Gmail, I just pop that open. So it's really simple, quick. And if you notice, as I was doing that, things really do pop open. It's a very high-performing system. There are a number of things, though, as I was doing installation, that felt slower than the Kindle Fire, certainly slower than the HTC Flyer, 7-inch, and some other Google Android things as well. But in general, it's a solid performing system. Screen, as I say, is gorgeous. It runs most things. It's good as a gaming system, good as a 7-inch tablet. The battery life, on the other hand, I've had it just charged it as of the end of the day yesterday and run it today, and it's down to about 10-15% battery. So battery life, on the other hand, has certainly not impressed me thus far. I would put it at about half of what I would expect out of the iPad. The other thing that it also compares to, I think, would naturally be something like the regular Kindle. Now, obviously, this is a very inexpensive system. This is a $200 list price one. There's also the $250 16 gigabyte. One big difference is, and you can read on this, This I have no cover for. I toss in a bag. It's safe and happy. For something like this, which has all of this nice Gorilla Glass 2 on the surface, first thing I did was to grab an Oberon case that I had set aside and put it in there so it's safely protected. And I have constantly had it in and out of the case all day to try to keep the screen nice and safe. So certainly that's something else to consider as you go. It's not something you can easily just toss in your bag. You are going to be concerned about keeping this one safe and secure. So overall, very impressive tablet, good step for Google. Certainly, at this point, if someone is spending $199 comparing the Kindle Fire or the Nexus with the exception of being able to watch Amazon videos on this system, I can't see a single reason why somebody would not choose the Google Nexus 7.